think I was the first African to graduate from that department of the Royal College. I think a lot of other Africans had gone previously to different departments: textile design, painting, sculpture. But for the vehicle design department, I was the first African. It's not the first black guy. There was a black guy before me. I was the first Nigerian. What did I take away from Unilag as an institution? I think the most important thing for me was being able to imbibe the discipline of a professional architect. Unilag was very good, making me realize what an architect was and did. Having a distinction was not easy. You know, like it involved a lot of studying hard and being serious, taking things seriously, going the extra mile. And I think I brought that to all the other things I did. And I got into the Royal College. I took my studies very seriously. I went to school with some naturally gifted people that didn't need to work as hard. But Unilag gave me a proper grounding. These days, I've got my own consultancy, so like we do whatever brings the work. But chiefly what I do is I do concepts for cars, concepts for architecture, TV branding, and branding for various organizations that come and ask for our expertise, really. What we do is we have a very energetic style, and we bring that to bear to whoever we do work for. But mainly I enjoy doing cars a lot, design for cars. Yes, we've done a few concepts for public transportation systems, Molue. We've done a concept for Molue, which has been well received by well-meaning Nigerians. We've worked on a design for a rail link system, going from where I used to stay in Nigeria, Ajah, all the way down to Third Mainland Bridge. I think that will ease traffic congestion in that area. We call that the Fashola Light Railway. We're also working on a few other projects that I would not want to disclose right now for business reasons. But yeah, we're doing a few vehicle design projects in Nigeria. The Lamata bus came as a result of thinking about different transportation solutions for Lagos State. I did this Molue in the year 2001, 2002, and I thought like it'd be a Molue that we'd be able to make before 2010. We've still got a few months left, so hopefully we can still do that. But this Lamata bus is interesting. It's all about airflow. It has always openable sides for air to flow in. Very, very high ceilings for airflow as well. The higher the ceiling, the more air it takes in, keeps the bus cool. It has also a flat section, which is something that I'm picturing for Nigeria. Flat sections are very easy to make, so we will give it reinforced structure. And they make buses like that in Brazil anyway. And it's very, very big, so it takes about 100 odd people or more. And since we make it in Nigeria, it's easy to make. How much would a bus like this cost? I'm saying once again, the development might be expensive, but after that, maybe 2 million naira a bus. When I got to Lagos, I went to do some consulting for a design firm in Lagos, and what was really, really baffling was the amount of cars on the road. The drivers were really bad, with absolutely no road culture. The roads themselves were really bad, and the number of cars on the road at any point in time there was large volume of cars. So it occurred to me that the solution there was to put a rail network in place. Because rail trains come with their own administration. You don't need to be a good driver. You just need to pay your train fare. And they just keep going and coming. So all we really need to do is probably put a few. I'm an architect, so I can tell you exactly how to build a train station, and I'm also a vehicle designer, so I can advise on how to put the trains together. I've never been a slave to materialism. I'm a designer. This wristwatch is very good for me. I have another wristwatch. It's very expensive, but it doesn't have all the digits on it, and doesn't have the day and the date, and doesn't have the time measured in the exact seconds. And for that reason, I wear this as the practical, as a timekeeper, as something that allows me to put the date on my work. And I'm a designer. My business is to make pretty things for people to buy. I'm a brand designer. I want people to notice the brand. I'm not going to fall into the same trap that I set, am I? So I don't need to spend money on clothes and on fancy cars. I'm a car designer. I know that the difference between a Skoda and a Mercedes is design. If I had £1 billion, I would set up design institutes in Nigeria and continue to put Nigeria at the forefront of design thought, expression, problem solving for Africa. The pyramids were an African solution, and that influenced architecture throughout the world for many, many years. Bronze smelting was something that came from Ife, came from Benin. I'm not just talking about technologies here, I'm talking about thinking. The way we used to do our traditional architecture hasn't been fully researched. I wouldn't spend my £1 billion on parties. I wouldn't spend my £1 billion on chieftaincy titles. And then again, there's so much. Nigeria, there is not a Nigerian Disneyland yet. I would like to have a full Nigerian Disneyland. And I'm into movies and films. I love movies, I love films, I love animation. And I'd like to do that. I'd like to have a whole tourist attraction, bringing people from all over the world to see the great creativity of the Nigerian. And I would love to serve the country.